Victims of Saturday's rainstorm and flooding in Uboko Apa local government area of Benue State have appealed to the federal government and the Ecological Fund Office to intervene in their plight. Houses, worship centers, schools, hospitals, power facilities, and the police station were destroyed by the rainstorm and the resultant raging floods. Community leaders and their representatives have been pooling resources to provide a temporary solution to the situation.
Raging water from River Adoko, which flows into the Uboko Canal in Apa local government, now seem a bit calm compared to the early hours of Saturday, when the effects of flooding and rainstorm left these destruction behind. Power facilities like poles, high-tension cables and transformers were damaged, exposing the community to further danger. The Methodist Primary School, which is one of the major infrastructure, was destroyed along with hospitals in the area, as the roofs were blown off. This missionary, whose entire church went down due to the rainstorm, appeals for help to rebuild all the worship centers, including the St. John and Paul Catholic Parish, which were also affected.
Both the building and the roofing has been pulled down, and it is our heart desire and our cry that the government can be able to look into it and give assistance to the city of Uboko in this area. Another thing we need help is the flood that is disturbing everybody almost at the market area there. If the government can look into it, as is looking onto the church also for the renovation of the building, will be very much happy.
When Channels Television visits the home of Stella Ame, her home was flat on the ground, with her foodstuffs and mattresses exposed to the sun.
I lost everything, virtually everything, including the block, the roofing, the zinc and everything. I lost totally everything. All my properties, everything, I lost them. You can see our things outside, mattresses, provision, everything, foodstuffs.
The lawmaker representing the victims calls on the state government for emergency supply, while the council chairman points to the ecological problems in the area and appeals to the federal government for help.
The flood area will need ecological assistance to make sure that this type of thing will not occur again, because our people are farmers and they have nothing to put in place to put all what they have lost in place, unless with the federal government assistance.
The same thing that happened last year, all the market area, the building went down, and this year is so difficult for us to bear, and we need the government, the federal government, NEMA, to come and help the community.
Although they are seeking help to rebuild their ruins, they have collectively as a people pulled together resources to repair the police station, which requires immediate solution for the security of the local government.
The people of Idiato North and South local government areas of Imo State and commuters plying the Olu-Akokwa-Anambra Federal Road are asking the federal and state governments to declare a state of emergency on the collapsed federal road. The Umuchima Road, which serves as a major link road between them and other parts of the state, collapsed as a result of gully erosion. Our community report tonight looks at the plight of the people as they call on governments to rehabilitate the federal road.
Idiato North and South, popularly called Idiato Nation, is one of the prominent local government council areas in Imo State. But for some time now, its well-earned prestige has been under threat. With over 100 autonomous communities, mostly surrounded by hills, the topography makes the area prone to erosion. This federal highway is the major link road to other parts of the state, as well as neighboring states. But the extent of the damage to a lane of the dual carriage road makes it now impassable. Some residents have resorted to self-help, excavating sand from the eroded parts. But more work awaits because the other lane in use is already developing potholes, spelling more problems in the future. A cry for help is already being sent to the government.
If you leave this thing like this, it means that we can't cross this place again.
I apply this road almost on daily basis, so we are not happy about it. So we appeal to the government to come to our rescue.
The lawmaker representing Idiato North in the State House of Assembly highlights the negative impact on the local economy.
There's no way we can even get their raw materials. We can't even come to do any business. So, and as the representatives of the people are being bombarded to find out a solution on what to do on that road because the road is cut off.
On a visit to the site, the governor promises to liaise with the Federal Ministry of Works for intervention, as the state may not be able to shoulder the costs.
The important we need community leaders. Then we'll see how we can to intervene and assist us, because this could be a bit much.
Erosion menace has been a major challenge for the people of Idiato North and South local government area of Imo State. Amongst other threatened erosion sites in this area, this needs urgent attention. Considering its importance, this is a major link road between this community and other parts of the state. This road also leads to neighboring Anambra State. The people are calling on the federal and state government to come to their aid as quick as possible so they are not cut off from the rest of the state. From Umuchima community in Idiato South local government area of Imo State, Eyitokwe Kutei, Channels Television News.
Technology, innovation and research have been identified as a key catalyst that will propel development in Nigeria and Africa at large. That's according to the Lagos State Deputy Governor, Dr. Hamzat. He also said the state is positioning itself to make Lagos State a smart city in the not-too-distant future. Dr. Hamzat said this during a session today on using technology and social media at the Eco Innovation Hub. Our technology correspondent, Victor Matthias, reports.
The world has never been the same since the advent of technology during the Industrial Revolution that changed the face of Europe and the Americas. While some developing countries have embraced this phenomenon, others are still playing catch-up. Converge and the Eco Innovation Center are players from government, private and public sectors, as well as tech enthusiasts. The Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, begins by explaining the key role technology will play as Nigeria continues to develop.
The reality is, we believe that technology will be very, very, very big for us. It's the only way we can catch up with the Western world. It's the only way, technology. So it will be big for us in our education, in our agriculture, and so on. And that's why it's so key for us to be able to train a lot of people.
With funding and mentoring a key component in the development of solution-driven tech startups and innovative ideas, a tech solution is being proffered.
We have now dozens of courses online that over almost 1 million people have signed up to take, and about 500,000 are taking regularly. Whether it is around storytelling or financial analysis or lean data or how to essentially human-centered design so that you can build the kinds of solutions that the world needs today.
So from our cohorts, we're going to have companies that will be mentored for a minimum of 18 to 36 months, and in those 18 to 36 months, we'll provide to you for a large extent every shared service support that you need to survive. So you focus on operations and making your project, your organization work. We provide all the structural support for you.
As time goes by, one can only hope that the potential technology provides to solve problems bedeviling the nation will be leveraged with the hope that one day we will catch up globally. Victor Matthias, Channels Television News.
On Art Review tonight, Biodun Omolayo is an artist and gallery owner. His latest solo was an opportunity to show his recent body of works, which talks about the need to have a peaceful nation.
Peaceful, reflections of serenity, island of black gold, Eyo play, Old Oshodi, Rainbow Child, Mama Put, Shekere Players are just part of the over 30 works of art painted by contemporary artist Biodun Omolayo and exhibited at his gallery in Lagos.
As an artist, I love colors a lot. Very vibrant colors. And then when you talk about peace, I use green most of the time. Color of vegetation, color of peace as well, color of nature. I use green most of the time because I paint mostly landscapes and seascapes and waterscapes as well. When you look at some of my landscape paintings, they look very refreshing. You imagine you being in that kind of environment, being in the place and then getting refreshed. So I use green most of the time. And then when I'm doing my abstract, I use a lot of vibrant colors as well, yellow, red, and even blue. I mix them together. If you look around, I do a whole lot of work that you can see in different. A lot of them, I experiment with a lot of the works. For instance, as I'm using acrylic, if you look at some of the, for instance, this, I call it acrylic splash. I experiment with it, the polo player. After painting and then I want to do something different, I splash acrylic there, and then this is what came out from that. And then if you look at some of my landscape as well, they are very texturized. I use a lot of dried acrylics. Instead of throwing them away, I scrape them and use them on the painting as well to achieve a texture. So I have so much offering for people to pick from.
The paintings, which are mostly rendered in acrylic and oil on canvas with few mixed media, were done between 1987 and 2019, exploring subjects like the serene land and seascapes, flora and faunas, festivals, abstracts, and commercial activities in the country.
I've always been exhibiting my works for some time, but most of the works that I put together here are works that span over 30 years. But I have some works that I did in 1987, shortly after service, and they are part of what people have not even seen some of those works. They're here. Even before I went to the Yaba College of Technology, I had done some works, even after service. I kept them, but I'm just bringing it out for the first time now. Even when I had my first exhibition in 2004, some of those works were not exhibited, so they are part of this exhibition right now.
For the artist, this means without peace, a nation cannot develop, as it will have a domino effect on productivity and creativity.